Today we're focused on yoga for the start of British summertime, so a bit of an energising sequence, and we'll be looking to build up to Warrior 3 pose, which we haven't done together before, so that will be new. To start, I'd like you to put yourself into a comfortable seated position. So if you've got a cushion or a block or something like that, you can sit on it, just putting the edge of your bum kind of on it to tilt your pelvis forward. So sitting right on the very edge, helping you to get a nice straight spine going upwards. And just coming into a comfortable cross-legged position. And I'd just like you to gently close the eyes here. And just start noticing your breath. So not changing anything this evening, just noticing it. And then I'd like you to take a couple of deep breaths, inhaling through the nose and sighing everything out through the mouth. And again, inhaling through the nose and sighing everything out through the mouth. And then just starting to breathe perhaps into your belly, whether that be bringing your hands to your belly or leaving them where they are, perhaps on your knees. Just focusing on the air going in and out and your belly expanding on the inhale and coming back towards your spine on the exhale. And then gently releasing the focus on the breath. And just returning to your normal breath, so no control there. Just checking in with how you're feeling. With this start of the new season, just check in, see how you feel today. Perhaps you've got hopes for the British summertime. I think we're all hoping for some nice weather, but we'll see. It's supposed to be pretty cold the next week. And then I'd like you to shrug your shoulders up to the sky on your next inhale and sigh them back down. We'll do that one more time. Inhale up and shrug them down. And then we're going to come into an all fours position now. So coming off your block if you're on it, or cushion. And bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders, the knees underneath the hips. Finding that flat back position. And sucking in your tummy muscles slightly. So we're going to focus on getting a bit of fire in the belly. And I'd like you to extend your left foot back, stretching out the calf here. So really on the toes, kind of pushing into the heels so you feel a stretch down the back of that left leg. So starting to warm up the back of the body, stretching it all out. Perhaps if you've been sat down today or been driving, really feel that. And you can even bring a little movement, so rocking back and forth if that feels nice. And then I'd like you to come to stillness, again sucking in that tummy, grounding into the whole of the palms of your hands. I'd like you to lift that left leg up so it becomes about hip height, not too high like this. So it's pushing your heel back and bringing that leg to hip height. And then inhaling your right arm forward. So you're in a kind of Superman pose. Again, grounding to the top of the right foot here and the whole of that left palm. And just checking in with your breath, keeping it nice and fluid. Inhaling evenly and exhaling evenly. And on your next exhale, I'd like you to gently release the leg and the arm back down into your all fours position. And perhaps take a couple of hip circles here. Just to release anything. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So this time stretching that right foot back. Finding that stretch on the back of the leg, so pushing into the heels, you're on the ball of the foot or the toes. And perhaps bringing a little bit of movement, so rocking backwards and forwards, or holding it still if that feels better for you today. And then bracing those abs, so sucking that tummy in a little bit, like you to raise that foot up, keeping the hips square to the ground, bringing that whole leg up to about hip height, pushing that heel back, so focusing on really concentrating on where that foot's going. And then when you feel nice and stable again, just checking in with your core, and then raising the left arm out to the front, really extending through those fingertips in your Superman or Superwoman position. And again, just breathing deeply here, not holding our breath. Feeling everything warm up down the back of the body, sucking in that core. And then gently exhaling everything down on the exhale. And again, perhaps a little hip circles, may even turn it into a little funky cat-cow, whatever feels good for you today. Beautiful. And then coming back to stillness in your all fours position, I'd like you to move your hand one palm distance forward, tuck your toes under, and then you're going to bend your knees and push your hips up and back to find your downward facing dog. So looking to find a nice straight alignment with the spine here. Really focus on pushing those hips up and back. You're going to suck your tummy in a bit today as well, see if that makes any difference. And again, just checking that you haven't locked out your elbows, that the weight is in the whole of the hands, not just the heel of the foot, and not worrying about how bent or straight those legs are. So now mine are very bent today. I'm just working with that spinal alignment. And then you might want to introduce a walk the dog, so padding the feet here, bending one knee and straightening the other leg. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, you're going to step the left foot in between the hands, bringing the right knee down to the floor, having the knees about above the ankle, tracking above, tucking that tailbone under a little bit. And you've got an option, if you've got blocks or books, you're very welcome to use them either side. Otherwise, if you want to join me in inhaling your arms up to either side of your ears. Just finding that low lunge position. Just feeling everything open up. Lovely lunges, excellent. Exhaling the arms down, tucking the back toe under. You might need to help this front foot through. Oops, or get caught on my nap. And then bring it back. You're going to bring yourself up into your downward facing dog. You won't stay here for too long. You're looking to push those hips up and back. And again, engage those tummy muscles. Just going to have a quick look at you. Beautiful. And then what we're going to do is step this time the right foot through. So again, you can always come down and through. And then untucking the back toe. Again, just checking that your knee and foot are about hip distance apart. Tucking the tailbone under slightly. And then inhaling the arms up if that's comfortable for you. Or working with the blocks or books or anything that you've got around you, either side, if that's more comfortable for you today. Lovely. And again, focusing our attention on an even inhale and exhale. Lovely. Exhaling those arms down. And then we're going to step that back foot under, bring that front foot back, bring the knees down this time, and just come back into a bit of a child's pose. Just release after that work. Again, you covered child's pose a little bit before, but you're bringing your bum back towards your heels. You can have your arms outstretched in front or beside you with the palms facing up. Lovely. And then when you're ready, you're going to curl yourself up. When you're there, tucking your toes under, I'd like you to come back into kind of a mini bent-legged position, and then straighten your legs to come into a forward fold. So keeping a nice bend to those legs. We're not looking to have the biggest stretch in the world, just enough so you're feeling a gentle stretch down the back of the legs. And then you're going to gently roll yourself up from there. Beautiful. Rolling those shoulders up, back and down. And looking to find our mountain pose here. So feet underneath hips. Again, shoulders up, back and down, palms in front, a little bend to the knee. Again, a little bit of engagement with that core. And perhaps closing the eyes. Feeling grounded. Taking a couple of breaths there. And then I'm going to show you what we're going to do for the next move. So this is coming into our warrior 3 pose. So you might want to be near a wall for this, just for a bit of extra support, because it's a balance. We're going to be on one foot. So I'll do it to this side so you can see. But yeah, I have got a wall here. I have got a wall to my side. If you want to use it, you can. So you're going to ground into one foot, coming onto the toes of the other foot, keeping our hands on our hips, or obviously the option to use the wall for a bit of support. You're then going to straighten that back leg, suck the tummy in, and hinge like you're seesawing. It's like your whole body is in line with your leg. So you're trying to keep it all straight. So you might just come to about here today and kind of work with that. You can hinge yourself up at any time to come out. It's quite a strenuous pose. Otherwise, you're going to continue working your way forward, keeping the hips square to the ground and working your way towards becoming parallel with the floor. Again, swinging yourself up to come there. So we'll do that together now. So again, perhaps moving your position to be by a wall if you'd like to. Otherwise, testing your balance today. Bring your hands to your hips. You're going to ground into your left foot. Raising your right foot onto your toes, taking the weight out of it. Sucking that tummy in, so really using that core to support you. You're going to straighten that right leg behind you and start to hinge. So that hinge is coming from the hips. And imagining that you're a seesaw, so you're one big plank of wood. Finding where it feels comfortable. So if you feel any twinges in the lower back, just come slightly up. And then holding it there for a couple of breaths. So wherever you're at today, again, option to have the hand on the wall. You can also have your hands in prayer pose in front. That could be quite nice. Or your hands back today as well. So playing with your version of the pose today. Holding it for one more breath. Then you're going to inhale yourself up. And then give yourself a little shimmy and a shake. Before we do the same thing on the other side. So I'll talk you through it this time. So you're going to ground into your right foot this time. Bringing those that left foot up so that you're on your toes. And then gently straightening that left foot back. You're going to, again, really brace that core as you lift that left foot back. Again, finding that seesaw position. Keeping the hips square to the ground as you find that position with your body. So if you're working, you could be working here today. If you're feeling your spine's rounding at all, just come slightly out and work with your edge. So finding where feels good, that you feel like you've got a bit of strain, but not nothing twinging or uncomfortable. Lovely. Holding it for one more breath here. I can see some great warrior poses right now. And then when you're ready, inhaling and gently hinging yourself up. Again, perhaps giving yourself a little shimmy and a shake. We'll inhale our arms up. Exhale over into our forward fold. And then gently coming back down the same way as we came up, bending our knees, curling onto our toes. We're going to come forward and find our child's pose. Just take a couple of breaths here to finish off. Beautiful. So return into your breath here. Really trying to release into the mat. So feeling like whenever you're exhaling, your body's feeling a little bit heavier. And if you spot any areas of tension, you might notice them on the inhale and just try and release them on your exhale. And take another couple of rounds of breath here. And then when you're ready, there's no rush. You're going to gently roll yourself upright, finding a comfortable seated position of your choice. So you might like to be in a kneeling position where you're at, or you can come into cross-legged or any other pose with your feet out front or anything that feels nice. And then when you're ready, you're going to inhale your arms up and round. Exhaling them down to your heart space. Bowing your forehead to your hands, feeling your mind and body connect. And I'd just like you to take a moment to thank yourself for something today. And that doesn't have to be for practicing yoga, it could be for something else in life or something else that you've done. But something to mark this start of a new season. And I'd like to thank you very much for practicing with me today. I hope you all have a very lovely week and the sunshine continues.